What's up, you guys? Happy Sunday. I'm a whole hour early, so if you're catching me live, way to go. If you're watching this on the replay, you're normal. We happened to get the girls to bed early, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna jump on early and just knock it out, get it over with, so that everybody can get to bed on time and that sort of thing. Hey, Torly. So I am super excited to share with you guys. I am going to be talking tonight about healthy swaps, because that's been a key thing that I've drilled into you. I feel like is the more you can choose to make healthy swaps in the meals that you love and the snacks that you love, the more likely you're going to be able to be consistent with the plan that you choose, right? Because you want something that fits into your lifestyle the way that you have it now, right? We don't love change. We don't love uprooting the things and the habits that we've created. And so if we can continue to have these really great, yummy meals or snacks that we love, and we can figure out a way to just make them fit into whether that's weight loss or maintenance or whatever it looks like for you and your goals, that's what I want to show you. And sometimes it can be almost tricky, because a lot of times the goals that we are greenwashed, I think is the name of the word, of where companies promote something as healthy, right? Or just in general, we have this understanding that things are really healthy, when in reality there's healthy and then there's healthy that's helping you lose weight. And so that being said, I put together a handful of things that we had in our house that I could show you whether or not it was healthy and talk about why. But in order to do that, I wanted to kind of explain something about nutrition labels first. So I'm going to just touch on the basics, because nutrition education isn't my strong suit by any means. I'm learning as you guys are. I have his background in nursing. I am a personal trainer, and I'm interested in nutrition, but I'm not a nutritionist by any means. What I'm teaching you is just what I've learned in the process of me doing this and that sort of thing. So get in your jammies, get your glass of wine, whatever. But we're going to talk through a couple of things. So the first thing to pay attention to when you're looking at a nutrition fact, the first thing is the serving size. Now there's two things to know about serving size. Serving size is just based on the food that you're eating. So your portion size is relative to you and your body. Your serving size is relative to the food, and how much of the food is then explained on the nutrition facts, right? So for instance, I'll use ranch as an example. Ranch, there's 2 tablespoons is 1 serving. So 2 tablespoons is going to be equivalent to whatever's on the back of this. So just knowing that. The second thing I look at, obviously, is the calories. That's one of the bigger numbers on the label that you're looking at. And then I kind of just skim over other things. So other things to pay attention to, because there's lots of things. Fat, carb, protein, and then the ingredients are the biggest things that jump out to me. Now, it's nutrition label reading is a whole nother, we could go into it. What I want you to just pay attention to for the topic of this is comparing it to things that you have, right? So what is healthy if it's not compared to something else, if that makes sense? You can't really go off of the fact that this is 130 calories, 14 grams of fat. You're cool, how do I know that that's good or bad? Well, if you were to compare it to something else, you would be able to see, oh, okay, they're relatively similar or different, if that makes sense. So typically, if I'm grocery shopping and I'm looking for a healthy option, grab 2 different ones, see if you can compare and make choices based on that, or Google your typical one and then look at the healthy one that you're trying to choose and compare them that way and see what those numbers equal out to. But I have, I'd say, about 10 items that I'm going to talk through, healthy versus non-healthy, and we're going to go to it. So first up, we'll start with ranch. So I have a creamy ranch dressing here. Like I said, 130 calories, 14 grams of fat, 2 grams of carb, 1 gram of protein, and a whole bunch of ingredients I can't even name. So then I have this Thrive Market dairy-free ranch, which I love. This is if I could choose a dairy-free, healthier ranch, this is the one that I've tried I want to say 4 different kinds of ranch, and this is the one that tastes closest to ranch. But when you compare calories, this one's more calories. When you compare fat, this one's more fat. When you compare carbs, this is less than a carb, no added sugar. And protein, this is less protein. So if you're thinking about why you're using a dressing, right? This could be used as technically a healthy fat, if you're gonna say that, if you're limiting it to your 2 tablespoons, but it doesn't have any added sugar in it, and it doesn't have It doesn't have protein, but the sugar is the big thing and the ingredients, right? So if you're dairy-free, this is a great option to compare comparatively. But you can tell, as I just said, the difference, it's not that significant. Like if you don't love dairy-free ranch, stick with your regular ranch and limit it to your 2 tablespoons of that. And you're gonna probably find that you're not gaining or losing a whole bunch of weight just because you're eating, maybe overeating ranch, but not if you're sticking to the serving size, if this makes sense. So that's our ranch. I would say still the dairy-free wins because of the no added sugar and the less carbs, if you're counting carbs, I guess, but, or if you're dairy-free, then this wins. Otherwise, stick to your ranch, is my personal opinion. The next up one is kind of I was shocked, I'm not gonna lie. Sweet potato versus gold potato. So the serving size for both of these, 1 sweet potato is what I went off of for nutrition facts. It's a half of a cup of gold potatoes. So it's, I imagine a half of a cup. That's like what, a handful? 1 sweet potato, both are 0 grams of fat, 26 grams of carbs. That's a serving and a half, or a portion and a half. So for me, I would have 1 as my whole portion serving size. A half of a cup of regular potatoes is 12 grams, so almost half of the carbs. And then this has 2 grams of protein versus 1. If I was gonna pick a healthier option, I would choose the potatoes over the sweet potato. Are you shocked? Because I was shocked. Sweet potatoes are like in everything as healthy, am I right? Like everyone says sweet potatoes are healthy, maybe for the like nutrients that's in them. So there might be more like, what's the word? Like vitamins and minerals and that sort of thing in sweet potatoes. But when it comes to calories and that sort of thing, the potatoes are less calories, they're less carbs, they're the same fat, less protein, but like in reality, if you're thinking about it, you can have more of the potatoes than you can of a sweet potato and them be equal. So potatoes wins this one for the healthy swap. Now, if you love sweet potatoes, eat sweet potatoes. Just be mindful of that serving size so that you don't overdo it, because right, if you're thinking about, okay, sweet potatoes are healthy so I can have 2 instead of a regular baked potato, that's not true. You have to stick to the serving size. So that's our sweet potato. Next up, I'm gonna do, this one might not be so popular, but syrup versus honey. Have you ever heard like, oh, if you wanna make a healthy swap for syrup versus, I'm trying to think of what the other thing is. Like other sugars, people say instead of other sugars, use syrup in something, like in making granola or that sort of thing, or versus honey. So we're gonna go through those same nutrition facts. So let's see. Calories, so it's a 1/4 of a cup versus a tablespoon. So a big difference in the serving size off the bat. 220 calories versus 60. 54 grams of carbs for a 1/4 of a cup. I definitely use more than a 1/4 of a cup on waffles or pancakes if I'm using syrup. 0 grams of protein. This one's 17, only 17 grams of carbs. So you could do, I don't know exactly the difference in tablespoon versus a 1/4 of a cup, but I wanna say 2 tablespoons is still less than this one. So if you're doing waffles, if you like pancakes, maybe try swapping for honey. Not the same amount of honey, but 2 tablespoons versus a 1/4 of a cup of some really high sugar, dense syrup. No protein, and then ingredients are both the same. It's maple syrup and honey. So honey would be your healthier swap versus syrup, if that makes sense. And if you guys are watching, like put some hearts, let me know you're here, that you're liking this, or what you're surprised by, so that we can be in this together. So like I said, so far dairy-free ranch has won only if you're dairy-free. Potatoes over the sweet potato and honey over the syrup. Next up, I'm doing, let's see, we'll do cream cheese, right? Cream cheese, you're like, okay, cream cheese isn't really a healthy thing, right, Meg? Well, if you like bagels with cream cheese, then make the healthy swap to be able to include cream cheese in your day. That's just what I would think. So we like cream cheese, we like bagels, so I have cream cheese here. I have strawberry that I grew up on, and then the whipped cream cheese spread. So let's look at the so we'll look at the labels, servings. Both are 2 tablespoons. The whipped is 50 calories. The strawberry is 90 calories. Fat, 4.5 grams of fat for the whipped, 7 grams of fat for the strawberry. So the strawberry is higher so far. 2 grams of carbs only on the whipped. 5 grams on this one. 5 added sugars, only 1 added sugar in this one. And 1 gram of protein across the board. So healthier swap for this one is going to be the whipped, and it's actually not, I would say, not bad at all. 2 grams of carbs only, and only 1 of those is from sugar. So that being said, have your cream cheese and have your little mini bagel. I like the bagel thins too, if you guys have tried those. This would be a really great, if you love it and you don't want to give it up, go for the whipped cream cheese spread. It's like lighter. And then even if you're like, let's say you really love the plain, compare it, and so that you can see what this compares to the regular, and then go from that. Whipped with honey in it. Ooh, I haven't tried that. So whipped wins on the cream cheese. Okay, next up I have tortillas, and I've been sharing this a lot because I found these and I've been freaking loving these. So you might know which one is already the healthier swap. But regular tortillas versus the low carb tortillas. So let's see. 1 tortilla is the serving size for both. 80 calories versus 100 calories. 2 grams of fat across the board. 18 grams of carbs versus 11. So you're saving 9. Wait, did I say that? 7. I can't do math. 7. And then 3 grams of protein for the regular, 2 grams of protein for the low carb. So if you're trying to, like, I say the healthier swap between these are the low carb, because they're literally exactly the same. This is bigger. See the bigger size? And it's less calories, less carbs, same protein, or less protein, but only by 1 gram, and the same fat. So the low carb tortilla wins. So we've been keeping the regular for the girls and for Ryan for like taco nights and that sort of thing. I've been using this for breakfast wraps. I've been using it for quesadillas. If I want to have a cheese quesadilla, I have a cheese quesadilla and I have it on a low carb tortilla. What else have it? Tacos, like you name it. I showed you guys with the fajitas. I swapped them for these, so do that. Low carb wins. Next up is an interesting one. Let's do this one. Have you guys seen these Smart Sweets? So I've been tempted to buy them. I've seen them at Target. I've seen them on Thrive Market. I've seen people talk about them from Amazon. Essentially the entire bag is your serving size. Pretty cool. There's a lot in this bag. So I'm like, okay, that's nice. The problem that I have with these is the taste. They taste awful, like awful. These ones, I literally had one again tonight and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw them away because they're that bad. Like the taste of it is just not, like you want it to taste like a peach ring. That's why you buy it. Doesn't taste good. This one's okay. But so we're comparing the Smart Sweets to the Nerds gummy things that we have in our pantry. I don't know. So serving size off the bat, this is an entire bag is the serving size. This is only 17 and they're like little clusters. So 17, both are 100 calories, but remember this has more in the serving size. Both are 0 grams of fat, 26 grams of carbs. 22 of those are from added sugars, 42 grams of carbs. 13 of those are from fiber, the rest are from sugar. So fiber's a little different because it's like the freebie in the carbs. So like if you're calculating your fiber and you're looking at it that way, a lot of times what people do is subtract the fiber from the total carb number. So if that's the case, you'd come out to like 31 grams of carbs, but still 31 grams of carbs versus 26. This is still more for the entire bag versus 17. And then 1 gram of protein versus 0. These are what I based this entire video on, because I would just rather buy a thing of sweet, what are they called? Sour Patch Kids, and eat my serving size of them, or like the little packs of them, and eat that and be done with it, versus trying to stomach this entire bag of these nasty things and saying it's healthy. Like, no, that's not the same. So this is that's why paying attention to the label, you're like, oh, this is great. Now, there might be a difference. One, this has fiber, so yeah, there's a difference there. This has none. The second difference is probably the ingredients. So like these are free of artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, like, so healthy wise, I guess you could, like, this is healthy in the sense that like it's lower in the sugar and it's probably better ingredients, but like from me to you, personal opinion, just have the thing that you want and don't waste your time with this. So that's that. Nerds wins, in my opinion. And then the final three. So the last three things I have, again, things from our house. There's lots more things that you can compare, but I love body armor. I got hooked on body armor. It's supposed to be super helpful when you're breastfeeding and like keeping your supply up, especially when I was working out when I was breastfeeding. I am not currently, but I love them. It's like it's supposed to be, quote unquote, a healthier alternative to Gatorade. So I pulled up a Gatorade nutrition fact because I don't have them. But a lot of times these are advertised as like the healthy sports drink. I've seen body armor advertised as that, or like when you're sick to drink it. If you know why you're drinking it, to replace your electrolytes and to give yourself those sugars back from sweating and that sort of thing, then yeah, that would be a really great option. Let's say you're like going on a hike and you don't have a snack. This is a great option. But like just drinking it in the daytime when you're trying to lose weight, this is not going to be a good option. So let's compare the three. I have Gatorade, I have light, and I have, or low calorie, and I have the Body Armor regular. So serving size is 1 bottle across the board, 20 calories for the light, 120 calories for the regular, 140 calories for Gatorade. 0 fat, all of them, all three. Light has 18 grams of carbs. 2 of those are from sugar. This one has 28 grams of carbs. 28 of them are from sugar, and the Gatorade is 36 grams of carbs, 34 of them are from sugar. So Body Armor is winning in comparison to Gatorade, but in comparison to these, the light is winning currently. And then protein, all is 0. So if you're on a weight loss journey, if you're monitoring, like even without counting calories, even without looking at your carbs and paying attention to this one, the light drink, is going to win. It still counts as 18 grams of carbs, which is an entire serving or portion size of carbs. So you could essentially, if you're counting it, if you're saying this is healthy, compare the calories wise, yes, sugar wise is 18 grams of a carb. This has more sugar, but hopefully you see what I'm saying. So if you're looking for something that's maybe another option to sip on through the day other than water, this would be a great option, but just know it's not like free like water is kind of thing. So this wins over Gatorade and over the other Body Armor. The final 2 things that I have, one is peanut butter and the other one is a juice. So the other thing I was gonna pull up, I have Jif Natural, which we love this kind of peanut butter. I have Sun Butter, which is this is sunflower butter. I would say people say this is pretty healthy. And then PB2 is the other one that I have pulled up. So I'm gonna compare all 3. PB2 is the powdered form that was in the Grace Guide this week to put in with your oatmeal. Why I like that is it's gonna be lower in fat because it doesn't include the oil that both of these have. Let's see, Sun Butter is going first. This is 2 tablespoons. They're all 2 tablespoons. This is 200 calories for 2 tablespoons. This is 190 calories for 2 tablespoons. And the PB2 is 60 calories for 2 tablespoons. So you can already see that one's lower on that end. Next up, fat. Sun Butter is 17 grams of fat. The Jif is 16 grams of fat. And the PB2 is 1.5 grams of fat. Next up is carbs. This one is 6 grams of carbs. 2 of those are from fiber, 3 of them are from sugar. This is 8 grams of carbs, so this one is more carbs. 3 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugar. And then the PB2 is 5 grams of carbs, so the lowest. 1 gram from fiber, 2 grams from sugar. And then final thing is protein. This is 7 grams, this is 7 grams. The PB2 is 6 grams. So if I had to choose between the 3 of these, depending on what for, right? So like if I'm mixing it in a smoothie, you're not really gonna taste anything, or like you're not going for that like creamy peanut butter feel, you know, like what you want it for, like a peanut butter and jelly, or like on celery, or those types of things where you're like wanting that creamy taste. The PB2 is great for in smoothies, in oatmeal. You're gonna cut out the fat, you're gonna cut out the additional carbs, you're gonna keep the protein, and the calories are gonna be lower. So go with the PB2. I think you guys know what it looks like. If you don't, Google it. It's literally PB2. It's a powder, and you can mix it in water and it makes it creamy, or you just add it to those things that I said. So like oatmeal, it's great with. We do it in our protein shakes and we really like it. We just don't happen to have it on us here. I would say between these two, this tastes like, do you know what sunflower seeds taste like? This tastes like that. It doesn't taste like peanut butter to me. So if I have to choose between the two, I mean, it's a little bit lower in the carbs. It's higher by 10 in calories. I would say just go for the regular peanut butter and enjoy it, the 2 tablespoons, and don't overdo it and call it a day. So that's when I say that, like, is it really healthy? Because I would probably be like, oh, sun butter's healthier. Ingredients wise, maybe this is sunflower seeds, sugar, salt. This is sugar, palm oil, peanuts, salt, and molasses. Well, it's peanuts, sugar, palm oil, salt, and molasses. This is seed, sugar, salt, so the same essentially. So I would say Jif wins just because I like Jif's taste better than this, and that rules to me. Or the PB2 wins over the Jif, if that makes sense. And then the final thing that I wanted to share with you guys was, I gotta pull up the other one because I don't have the fruit on me. Last one, hang with me. Orange juice versus a orange. So let's see if I can pull this up. Okay, orange juice serving size is 8 fluid ounces. I don't even know how much 8 fluid ounces is, like a small cup. 8 fluid ounces is a serving size. 1 orange is a serving size, so imagine an orange. 1 orange is a serving size of an orange. This is 110 calories. The orange is 81 calories. Both are 0 grams of fat. This is 26 grams of carbs. This is 21 grams of carbs. 4 of these are from fiber. 14 are from sugar. This one's 0 is from fiber and 23 is from sugar. And they both are the same in protein. So if I had to choose between, do you want to have orange juice or should you have an orange? You should choose the orange because it has that additional fiber. It's gonna slow down, help your digestion. It helps with feeling full, that sort of thing. And this is, the serving size is different. So whereas you're eating an orange and you're gonna feel full because you're eating the fiber, you're gonna drink this and be like, I'm still hungry. Like, that's why juice isn't necessarily a really great option. And of course, we don't always stick to the 8 fluid ounces. That is a cup, you know, a serving size. You have 2 of those. So essentially you're eating 50 grams of carbs and 220 calories. And so thinking about it like that makes it like, do you just have the orange or do you have orange juice? You have the orange. So all of that to say, hopefully this was helpful for you guys to see some healthy swaps in action. I know I learned some things. And yes, Lauren, there's too much sugar in ketchup, that is for sure. But hopefully you learned some things. I know I did. The sweet potato was the biggest, like, I was like, okay, that's crazy. And then cream cheese, like comparing the 2 cream cheeses, I was like, oh, well, this is actually like not as bad as we tend to think that cream cheese is. So all of that to say, if there's something that you specifically, if you're like, I need a healthy swap for this, or I love this and I haven't found something to fit with swapping out, I would love to help you find something. Or if you have an idea for next week's topic for a video, let me know. But if something surprised you, leave it in the comments, and don't forget to go back and say on the last post that I shared with you guys if you did your measurements and your photos, and if you are ready for a great week ahead. Tomorrow's a great workout. We're including dumbbells with it, so grab your dumbbells, get ready for a really great workout, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. See you later.